Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. Hello, my friends. How are we doing tonight? Hope you guys doing well. We're in the Midwest here, and it's nice and cool. Nice and cool. Hope you guys doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. Hope you guys are continuing to follow God's purposes and your Creator's purposes and allowing you to conquest yourself and conquest everything else around you. So good things are going on all the time. We're hoping to continue to do a lot of these broadcasts to kind of help people who are looking to kind of see if we could try to do another option here of getting yourself in better shape, better condition, the best high-value male you can become, and that's what we're here for. All right, so I am Vigor Warriors 2, and welcome, and thank you guys for all the contributions, the comments you make. I take a lot of your topics, and we use those to go over discussions. Also trying to eventually kind of expand our channel. I haven't had a chance to do that. I promise you guys some streaming and things like that. I just haven't gotten to it. I will try to do it as quickly as I can. But once again, I'm wrapped up with a lot of obligations and things right now. So we're hoping to kind of get to some stuff maybe over the Christmas break here. Maybe we'll actually do a stream or something like that. All right, so quick shout outs here before we get started. LDS6182, thank you. Curveyshrine, thank you. As old-time viewer and listener, thank you, my friend. Hard Made Kings, did my beard grow? Is a good question you had. My beard grew. I did not start my beard until I actually started on this long journey, about 1,200 days now. So yeah, I kind of gone on and off. You guys watch the videos. There's some that I had shortened beard. Others I went away from it for a while. I went back to it because I felt more comfortable with it. And after 59 years of not having a beard, I feel very comfortable the last 3 years doing it. And I think I'll continue doing it for a long time to come. But thank you for your comment. And I do think retention helps you with your hair, growing your hair and keeping your testosterone higher. I think that's all good. And those are good things. So 16 Andrew F, thank you. Mr. Van Dam, thank you, my friend. TKO, Solitaire Records official, thank you. Giovanni, thank you. Another one for 16 Andrew F. John Jennings, Jedi, thank you. Mystykalmoon, thank you, 4434. Hoang giong, I think, the chosen one, thank you. And Capitalt 348 and Voice 2 Skull, thank you guys for all your comments, and I appreciate those a great deal. So at the 3-minute mark, let's talk about our topic. So, having courage during semen retention. So why is courage important? So let's talk about this a little bit. So part of the reason we do a lot of this is the fact that we want to build the best, excellent person we can. We want to do that because God has given us that ability. God has given it as our purpose in life is to basically kind of follow His goals, His purposes, to try to be the best person we can become. God has given us our body as a temple, our minds, our spiritualness, all those things are there to kind of serve His purpose. So because of that, we have to be the best we can become. And the way to do that is to start by self-control, controlling ourselves, making sure we're in control of this body, this thing, that spirit we have. And we start with, obviously, semen retention. In my book, this is where I started, semen retention. Yes, I had books, the Kelder's Fountain of Youth, for years. I followed it. I had good success, but not great success because I didn't follow the 6th rule that he put together, and that's one of retention. So once I started doing that, then I saw great benefits, even greater than I had before. But going back to self-control, the key, warriors, is to control yourself. Once you're able to master yourself, control yourself, then you're able to master other things around you. Your diet, your meditation, your anger, all those things. I'm still working on several of those things. I've gotten much better as time has gone on. But that also, one of the benefits of retention, besides clarity, attraction, all those type of things, is having courage. The stress level you have is a lot less, at least I experienced it. You have a lot more ability to have confidence in yourself. You feel better about yourself, so you're more confident, and now you're able to take more chances, more risks, and obviously that presents itself with more courage. So the courage you have then is allowing you to be able to do things you might not normally do. You find an attractive young lady you want to talk to, you go up to that person, you might not normally do that because when you're releasing, you had a lot of stress, tension, depression. Those things happen because you've lost your energy. And now you can't go up to that young lady and talk with them because you're worried more about the rejection. Satan also has a big part of this, and I think he's using releasing as part of his evil plan to basically make you not do things you should be doing and not having the courage to stand up and fight and do those things you should be doing and not being scared to do those things you should be doing. And so I think then when you save your energy and you're using your energy more, now you're able then to go ahead and be effective with other people, talk to people, not be afraid, take that chance to go up to someone and talk with that person if you want to. Also, obviously not being scared of anybody in situations and being able to kind of communicate effectively with people and not being scared to communicate, whether it's in public, whether it's talking to a person one-on-one. You're more effective because you've kept that energy. Your well-being is very important. Your actions, my friends, are affected by how you think. This goes back to a lot of things, goes back to Aristotle, Socrates, a lot of the Greek, Roman philosophers of the day, and it goes back to even the secret, the secret of the ages, all those new, more modern terms they give to it. It goes back to the same old thing. Your thoughts make your behaviors. What you're thinking is what eventually you're going to do. And this is why you have to have positive, God-like thoughts to be able to have that courage to step up to the plate and say, you know, I'm not going to put up with this, or I'm going to stop this, or I'm going to talk to that person, that situation. That courage allows you then to be successful, taking the next step, working on trying to achieve that next goal, not being afraid of setting goals. There's a lot of people out there they're not afraid of failure. We have lots of people like that too. But there's more people, in my opinion at least, that are afraid of succeeding. Now this sounds strange, warriors, but think about that. When people are afraid of succeeding, now they got to take responsibility. Now they got to take the next step. And they're really afraid of that. And they want to stay away from that at all costs. And so subconsciously, maybe even consciously, they almost kind of sabotage themselves to not succeed. And you see this a lot with people who are playing athletics. I know golfers who, they were an average golfer. In their mind, they were an average golfer. Yet the first 9 holes, they'd be like 10 under, right? And they weren't comfortable with that. And so subconsciously, by the end of the day, they end up back even again or close to it. This happens a lot more than you think it does. People in their minds have to be ready for success. They're not ready for success, they can't handle that. The same thing when it happens to retention and courage. You have to build yourself up to be ready for that next success. A lot of people are used to failing, and they in their mind have a failure mentality. You, warrior, cannot have a failure mentality. You have to have a success mentality. That means you know you're going to be successful eventually. There's that old story of Edison I've talked about before. That Edison spent 100,000 times trying to create the light bulb. He failed in many people's minds. Reporters asked him, Edison, why don't you just give up? You're never going to make this right. You're never going to find a way to create the light bulb. Obviously now he did, because we've had it for years, right? But he basically said to him, gentlemen, you do not know what real life is. You don't know what the secret of life is. He said, I didn't fail 100,000 times. I only identified 100,000 ways not to create light. Now I'm 100,000 ways closer to create light. So think about that when you get a chance. You're not failing anything. We don't fail anything. The only time we fail is we quit. We don't do it anymore. We are just identifying ways not to solve the problem. Everything in life is a solved problem. That means you're solving problem. I worked with Norman Vincent Peale many years ago. He was a famous preacher and priest in New York City. And he used to have great books on the power of positive thinking. I learned a lot from him. And one of the things I learned was that life is solving problems. If you don't have problems, go to your Creator and say, God, where is my problems? I want to be more problems, because that's how you grow. That's how you grow. We're always in problem-solving mode. Males are especially. Solving problems. That means you got to have the courage to be able to look the problem straight in the eye and say, how do I solve this? It could be anything small, like something in the house. It could be a bigger problem, like something on the job. It could be a relationship issue. There's always something to solve. You have a lot of challenges because people, the way they are, no one thinks the same. We all have different perspectives. We look at things differently. You're always going to have different things to solve. And you can look at it as a problem, but it's really a challenge. More challenges. Therefore, you need to have some mechanism within yourself to be able to deal with those challenges. And the way to do that is having that retention. And with the retention, you build the courage to say, okay, I know this is not the end of the world. If this didn't go right, I put it back in my memory bank and say, okay, that's some information I need. Then I'm going to go ahead and look for solving the problem. How do I solve it? What do I try next? What do I do next to try to solve the problem? Your health, your finances, your relationships with people, they are all the same old thing. You're trying to make them better. You're trying to make yourself better. You're trying to continue to find ways to grow. And this all deals with issues that you have to solve, obstacles you have to overcome. That takes courage. And that's where you start learning how to self-control yourself. So as we talk about this, the whole idea you want to look at is to learn how to retain, then build up confidence in yourself so now you can take the next step. Always continue to push yourself. I don't care if it means giving up, going and giving a speech that you've never given a speech before. I don't care if it's going up to a young lady and asking that young lady out. Maybe you've been afraid of rejection. Overcome the fear. Always talk about the idea. I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt that said this, one of Franklin Delano Roosevelt's wife back in the 1930s, that the way to handle fear is to directly meet it and go after it and deal with it. You don't run away from the fear. You have fear of heights, deal with somehow. You have fear of rejection, face it head on. That means you can overcome it, but it takes courage. Courage within yourself to say, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to go ahead and try to solve the issue. And that's the key. So as we look at this whole thing, warriors, the key is going to be, how do you go through your life solving situations one by one? The mechanism has to be there. Don't panic. Don't get upset if it doesn't work. Keep trying different ways, but you got to have the courage to try. Don't ever give up anything you ever do. You want that goal strong enough, keep trying to do it, but find different ways. Good example is, once again, dating. You may have struggling with dating. Maybe you're trying too hard. Find a different method. Look for a different way to do it. There's different ways of succeeding. Not every way will succeed, but realize it's only one step in the process. The process is not going to be something you can be overnight. The same thing with retention. You're not going to be able to do it overnight for 12, 15 years, right? You're going to have to take one step at a time. It took me 47 years to get to the point where I now have a 1,200-day streak, around 1,200, 1,160 or whatever it might be. That is something that took me many years to accomplish. But fortunately, my Creator, my God, Jesus Christ, has given me the ability to have courage And it showed me courage to be able to do this, and that's important. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you right now. Enough of the talk about courage. Let's continue having courage, but also remember 2 things I always leave you with. 1, every day is a great day and a new day to a great warrior. And number 2, guys, we have to continue, you know it, continue to fight this evil one. And let's call it, my friends.